peeps, it's Andercon, CCR Goalie 9.
Hello.
Yeah, we're having a little coffee break here. Pretty good coffee.
No, I made it myself.
Anyway, today I'm going to work on my energy system and the bunker. And we've got enough materials in this chest for 16 MFSUs.
Get ready for a montage.
Oh god, this is going to take a little while to build. But might as well show it in fast forward. Well then.
Yeah.
I got 16 MFSUs, and wherever you got your math was horribly off. However, there is enough spare Lapatrons in here that I actually am in need of a 17th MFSU at a later date, so I'll just make one of those up soon. But there's also some other stuff we got to make as well. I got to have at least 4, what are they called? High voltage transformers. And I'm going to need some red alloy wires of various types, which I probably got some of that already made up. We need some gates from BuildCraft, and I also need a whole bunch of other little bits and bobs here and there, like a bunch of those energy array kits that and stuff like that you can set up displays with and see how much energy is in MFSU and all this other crap. So we're probably going to be building for a while, but I'm going to catch all that off camera. Oh, we even need some lamps from Red Power too, man.
Damn it. I'm out. I'm done. That was enough.
Alright. So here I am at my nuclear power station at my secret base. And here's the only MFSU I got set up so far, and of course, well, this is just receiving from all the reactors and stuff. But that's supposed to be outputting to a whole bunch of other MFSUs I'm going to set up here. And I got a little bit of wiring ran anyway. So these are the cable runs from that other MFSU, which is hiding way down there. And it is all going to be going to all the other MFSUs that I'm going to set up. So, right here's my bag of crap. This is all the stuff I'm going to be working with today, that plus some glass fiber cable. And so we got 8 inverted orange lamps, 8 light blue lamps, 4 industrial information panels, 4 high voltage transformers. I'm only going to be using 16 MFSUs today. I don't know if I need this much high voltage cable right at the moment, but I'll eventually need a whole hell of a lot more. And here's a whole bunch of energy sensor kits, one for each MFSU I'm going to use. Plus I'm going to need a little bit of facades and iron ore gates, cobblestone structure pipes, and some red pipe wire. So let's just go ahead and set all this stuff up. I'll go ahead and build one for the moment and do the rest off camera. So, alright. Hopefully I can remember how to do this. It's been a while since I've messed with these. So I don't need all those yet. I'm going to need some of these lights. I'll just put that right there. That'll work. Okay. I think I was going to do it with the light down here, except I wanted the orange light at the bottom. Get back here, you. Alright. Orange lights at the bottom. Always on, apparently. And MFSU's pointing this way. Now, the idea here is I'm going to be transmitting power to all the MFSUs all the time, so they'll all always receive power. However, I'll be able to choose which bank of them to output power from. And what they're going to do is they're all going to output power, and like all 4 of them at once, and it'll go into a high voltage transformer, and it'll turn the units of 512 into units of 2000 and some hundred, 2024 or something like that. I don't even think that's quite right, but anyway, this thing's going to be down here somewhere. Let's see, I think it shall be sitting against this block. I'll probably stick it right there. And I think, and I hope this is correct. I also need to get some other bits and bobs and some other wires and make sure that thing's got a redstone signal. Now here's an option, like if you want to rebuild one of these, you can use glass fiber cables right here to hook up to the MFSUs down to that particular high voltage transformer, but I just like the look of the high voltage cable, so even though it's slightly inefficient to do it, but on this shorter run it doesn't really matter. I'm going to run a little bit of high voltage 4x insulated cable because I like the look. It looks cool. That's a big thick old cable. It's pretty cool looking to me. Now this stuff is obviously I'm always near done. There's a little bit more that I need to do. So that's where all the red powered, actually not the red power stuff, the all these facades and the buildcraft stuff comes in. Now the way I'm going to have this ran is going to have some cables that'll come up through these holes, and it'll be able to turn everything off and on. And this top block here is to tell you whether or not these MFSUs are full, but the way I have to set up the MFSUs is with the particular behavior. So if it receives a redstone signal, it has to, yeah, do not output energy, I believe. Yeah, okay. And I got to do that to all these. Now that also makes it so I can't initially test whether it's full. For instance, if it's empty or if I told it to emit it full, it would turn on this particular lamp, but I don't want that particular behavior. So I kind of got to emulate having that same behavior with some pipes and stuff. So I got these cobblestone structure pipes, and I got a whole bunch of iron ore gates. And I'm just going to slap a bunch of these on here. And these things can read the state of the MFSUs. So I'm going to use this on, let's see here, capacitor is full, capacitor is full, and now this one, I got to run a little bit of redstone pipe wire up along these things first. Just do a little bit of this. Alright, and alright, redstone pipe signal right there. Now if this thing has a redstone pipe signal, emit the redstone signal. So anytime any of these fill up, it will basically just tell me through that light whether or not these are full or not. It's just nice to have a little bit of extra display, basically. And I'm just going to be able to easily cover all this stuff up with a little bit of facades. And I actually I might have a handful more facades than I really need at the moment, but I'll probably break this glass and hide the back end of this later, because I can't quite reach all of it at the moment, but this will work. And I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side too. And then I'm going to get a hold of everything I need to finish one of these off. Okay, let's go ahead and finish some of the rest of this off. I'll go ahead and hook the input wires up to this. And alright, that's pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and put on the red alloy wires. Now these are nice since they climb right up the walls and stuff. Now right here I'm going to use a different kind of wire. This is just the orange insulated wire. And that way I can hook this up some other way if I wanted to. For instance, I can have all these run to like one bundled cable, and the other end could either be on a computer or a whole bunch of other switches or levers elsewhere, like on a wall or something. And these are just going to run down here somewhere. I'll just put a little bit of blocks down just to run it down for the moment, like so, and probably another down here, and then hook them together, since these will both be receiving a signal at the same time. And also I definitely need to make sure this particular, oh, that's going to hook up, that's no good. I got to make sure the this high voltage transformer here has a redstone signal. That way it will output instead of input. Just run a little bit of this here, and then say whenever I stick a signal on this, it will turn off this whole bank and it won't be transmitting power anymore, which is pretty cool. And this thing being off is pretty much a good visual representation. Now also, I don't want these huge holes in the floor here. That's pretty easy to fix just with some iron blocks, and let me see if I can figure out where I put it. A nice saw. Not that bag. I think I have it in this bag here. There, diamond handsaw. I could probably do it with a regular handsaw or some sort, but oh well. And I'm just going to cut up a couple blocks of iron here, and I think I need to cut these up in a specific manner. Let me see. Alright, now if I combine, say, one of those with one of these, I get a triple panel. I think this is the proper size I'm after. That way I can just stick it in there, and it's a little bit different color than the floor, and I might change out the floor in here, but I couldn't cut these, I don't think. Let me check real quick. An aluminum block, I don't think you can cut since they're a mod item. Nope, can't cut the aluminum blocks, so I'm probably going to change some of the floor in here just to iron blocks or something. But the whole floor might get redone in here eventually. So just go ahead and slice, put one of these back together here. And that way I don't have this huge gaping hole in the floor I fall down all the time. Besides this one I just made. Derp. There we go. And I think that's pretty much it. Now the only thing left to do besides powering these things up is hook up some switches and levers to all these things. But I'll go ahead and go make the rest of these and then finish this thing off. Well, I went ahead and finished up all these banks here. Now we're going to hook them up to the switch so I can turn the things off and on. So here are my lights, and those will turn off when the thing is off. And here is the what is this stuff called anyway? Bundled cable, that's it. Derp. Alright, so I got a bunch of bundled cable and it's all hooked up to it. It's just ran down here and then ran to each of the wires here. And if I transmit a signal to, like, say, this white wire anywhere along this bundled cable, it'll transmit that signal to all white wires connected to it. So, easy way to just save a little bit of cable. So I went ahead and went with black, gray, light gray, and white, just for, I don't know, that's what I felt like doing. And so I'm going to go ahead and put these down here. And where's my gray? There's my gray. And it doesn't take a whole lot of cable for this, fortunately. So there's my lights, and now I'm going to have a little bit of something here to put the switches on, or the levers in this case. And that way, if I just say I turn this light off, or yeah, if I turn that light off, it also turns off the particular bank in question. And turns off all the banks that way. So, pretty simple and easy. And quite nice. That way I can just choose which one I want on specifically. Now the next part here is I got a bag of crap in here full of energy sensor kits and a bunch of industrial information panels. I might have to get extenders for these, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I'm going to have one of these up here. Pretty much one for each. And I'm probably going to have to give these things a redstone signal of some sort from something or other, but I also need to go ahead and hook up every single one of these MFSUs to an energy sensor kit. This is going to take a bit, so I'm going to go ahead and do one and just show you what I'm going to do with it, pretty much, which is going to take 4 of these pretty much. So I'll just whip out 4 of these. So you take your energy sensor kit and you find this side apparently and right click on it. And it'll give you a energy sensor location card for that specific one. So I'm going to do this to every single one of these. And it won't take long to do that. Now the thing is, this is the black one. This thing only has the room for 1 card in here. That's the current problem. So there is a way you can combine these things. So if you just stick these things in a crafting table, you can get a energy array location card with 4 cards in it. And that way I can stick all 4 of them in one spot. Now I've not ever done this before, so Oh god, you can't see anything on that. Just a huge mess of crap. So let's just turn all these off and let's see what the summary does. Anything? Not really. Each card info. Can't see anything. Fill percentage. Each card info. Oh, okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And who knows which one. How does one of these have energy in it? That's weird. Maybe I had put... Oh. I don't know where I got this one from, but it apparently has some energy. Oh, that's right. This is all the energy from the particular MFSU downstairs. So that confirms that everything else is working. It must have transferred energy while I wasn't looking. Kind of funny. It's like, how does this have power? I don't understand. Oh well. So that gives me at least some idea of what is in this particular set of banks. I could probably see what else is going on in here. I don't really know. Gives you total storage. Here's your energy. I wonder if I can do single. No. Summary. Oh, okay. Awesome. Now if I did it this way, I could do, say, fill percentage for the entire bank. So this entire bank right here, with 4 of them in it, is 15% full. That's pretty much what I'd like. That's awesome just right there. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these. And then I'll turn on the reactor and start, you know, booting everything up. Oh, other things to keep in mind with this particular system is, well, first of all, I had to put these torches underneath all of these. Wow, Ace. Good luck with that. And you're going to want to use 4x insulated high voltage cable coming out of every one of these, and never hook up anything else to it without running through a transformer or a high voltage transformer without the redstone signal. So I can probably just hook all these things up, something like this. And then I can hook this up to machinery that has, say, 3 of those voltage transformers hooked up to it, and then I could run my all my equipment at super high voltage of doom, and then with enough extra bits and bobs and some of those overclockers and stuff, I could probably run almost any piece of IC2 machinery at super ridiculous speed of doom. That's basically what the whole plan is around here. Went ahead and put in the cards in all these. Now these two are just a little bit too far away, so I made these range upgrades. They're pretty cheap, just a frequency transmitter and some copper cable, and here's the frequency transmitter recipe. Quite simple and easy recipe, and they really only need 1 each for how far away they are. So these are all out now off, and I should be able to go ahead and get my program running here for my reactors. Let's see here, I believe it was the reactors program. Okay, now I can also turn on my breeder if I wanted to, but for right now I just want to turn on my reactor program, and it should be starting right up. It takes a little bit for this thing to run, but you've probably seen this in some of my other episodes, me working on this a little bit. But it's quite awesome, really. Like right now, it should be pulling out any near depleted cells, which it doesn't have any in it, but it still tries to pull them out anyway. And then it will create a whole bunch of, well, actually, I believe it'll pull out a whole bunch of uranium out of a box here. Then it'll make some extra uranium for later. Actually, I think it pulls out of, oh, this one back here. Oh, it's pulling them out right now, so it should be spewing them right into all the reactors, filling them all up. Yeah, you can see it sticking them in there right now. And after it's got all these filled up, it'll go ahead and turn them all on. I really like the system I got here. It took quite a bit of work to get it to, you know, to work. But it is very nice to have an automated nuclear reactor set up. Especially one that has a breeder reactor hooked up to it, and that way it will go ahead and give me cells for super cheap compared to what it would normally take. Like 1 stack of uranium gives me 8 stacks of cells after I run them through the breeder, which is quite nice. It takes quite a while to run that many through a breeder though. And now that's done. Now it should go ahead and turn on. Very shortly. I think it's going to go ahead and make up some spare cells for later. That way it go ahead and it uses some of its spare time to ensure that all the cells have reached their destination. Let's see. It takes a little while for it to make these, but after it's done with that, it'll go ahead and turn on. So it's going to fill the rest of these things up first. It took quite some work to get this whole entire thing automated like that. This thing is quite enormous. Bit of a factory back in here. Well, it's not really that big, but it's super dense as heck. But I already got a video on this. If you hadn't seen it yet, you ought to check that out. It should be the last video before this on how to get my breeder reactor going. That's currently off. Alright, this thing should... Alright, yeah, I went ahead and turned these things on now. So I got these, all these reactors on. They're producing 165 EU a tick. And it's all running into my MFSU. And every time this thing gets 512 in it, it spews it upstairs into this bank here. So we should go ahead and see this thing slowly filling up. It's going to take forever. I've got so much energy storage in here. So 800, no, yeah, it's slowly filling these things up. Oh, this thing's got a good bit in it already. 21,000. So I'm going to walk over here to the end and make sure. Let's see if it's putting them. Yeah, it's splitting it up or giving each one a pulse of 512, basically evenly, or something like that. It's probably just splitting it up and doing this that way. But it's going to take forever to fill up this gigantic bank. But it's going to be quite nice once I finally get it filled up. And I went to 16%. So I could probably, if I wanted to, color code these. I don't know if I'll do that or not. But other things I'm going to do eventually is change out the floor a little bit to make it a little prettier. And that's pretty much about it for the moment. The only other thing I might do is turn on this breeder for a cycle anyway. And I'll just do it for one cycle. So now it went ahead and turned on the breeder. And even though I switched it back off, that just means it will only run for one cycle. Now the reactors here, it'll also run for one cycle, except I have it on so it'll continuously run. And I don't know how long it would take to fill up this much energy. I could probably do a calculation. Let's see here. This is 10 million EU. Did the math. Alright, my reactors each make about 33 million EU a cycle. And total here is, I believe, which was this? Let me double check my math. This was 10 million EU each. And so it shouldn't be too hard for me to finish that math up. Alright, so 33 million times 3 is 99 million total. And I have 10 million times 16, 160 million. Alright, so about after about a cycle and a half, a little bit extra. Like a cycle point, 1.61 of a cycle pretty much. These things should be completely filled up. So oh my god, I'm going to have so much power, it's going to be insane. And it's probably going to take me a while to run through all this too. I probably, after a while, I'll probably start making a whole bunch of EU matter and stuff. I'm going to have so much extra isotope cells. It's going to be insane. I did not expect it to fill these things up with such a small quantity of uranium. It takes 27 uranium cells to run my reactors, all three of them at once. And so it's not going to take a whole hell of a lot for me to fill up all these banks. Just a cycle and a half. So I'm going to have a lot of extra power. Well, join me next time. I'm probably going to, well, there's a handful of things I could do. I still got a blue electric battery box to put in. I got all this lava here I got to play with. I'm going to stick a bank of geothermal generators over here somewhere. Eventually I'm going to have a buildcraft power plant somewhere in this general vicinity. I also have my shop to build upstairs a level. So there's a lot of things I could do, and I'll just pick one, whichever one I feel like doing, and I'll go and do it. So join me next time, and hope you had fun. See you later.